This is the NFL on...
And thank you, Coach. We are across the Hudson from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the New York Giants. The children will grow, and it's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
And what I'm looking for from him today, the things every quarterback is looking to do. Lead his team to a victory. Doesn't matter whether he's throwing it, running it, handing it off, however he has to do it, as well as exhibiting some leadership. That's what he's trying to accomplish.
Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down. And a peek now at the offense for Tampa Bay.
So let's all work together on this one because it's natural to just watch the football. But I want all of us to watch the center of this offensive line, the center and the 2 guards. They've got to be able to control the point of attack, and they didn't do such a good job on that last play.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. So the first interception of his career under center, and you knew it was going to happen sooner or later.
It has to. And I know he feels like the world is just tumbling down at this moment, but there's got to be some veteran somewhere, some mentor that's going to tell him, hang in there, my man. Plenty more to come. Keep firing.
On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
And that run was memorable for only one reason. There's absolutely no place to run with the football. No gaps, no creases, no gain.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Let's go, defense. Hey, Haywood. 57 to Mike. 57 to Mike.
Now Saquon Barkley. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Brings up 3rd and 3.
Ready, set. 57 is right. Watch the screen. Pass. Bravo. Hey, check Mike 57. Mike 57. I got him. Let go.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And the throw there going to be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Hey, echo. 57 Mike. Mike 57. Get in the weight room.
They'll try and throw for it here. And Jennings has it. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 13 yards, good for a Giant first down.
Well, peel back the curtain, partner. We've got a pretty good look into how they plan to play this game. Aggressive seems to be the word. Going for it on 4th down in that situation.
Yeah, opening drive. Now, we know this coaching staff, they have traits of aggression in their history, but what a start to this game. They're going for it.
Yeah, a lot of people might say reckless, but they got it. 1 for 1 on 4th down here early in the game.
Meanwhile, here a run on 1st down really backfires as he's going to be brought down well behind the line of scrimmage. That'll go as a loss of 5, and it'll make this a 2nd and long.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I, he has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. That's sacked by Khalil Mack.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Sanders. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs' 32-yard line.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
A first down carry for Barkley. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Good opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the sack earlier. Now a tackle for loss, another tackle for loss.
He's really making it tough on the play calling, though, isn't he? Because it's one thing to try and adjust when a guy is disrupting your running game. But when he's messing up your passing game as well, they may have to devote at least a second guy to him to try and keep him away from their plays.
To throw is Sanders. Looking to throw on 2nd down. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Back to throw. Sanders. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Check, check. 6 man. Check curls, check curls.
Sanders throwing on 4th down. And that is going to be incomplete. The Giants go on 4th, but come up empty. And the Buccaneers defense holds, and they get the football back. Well, their first 4th down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any 4th down stop is a big momentum play.
And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. A big pickup there, 18 yards and a Buccaneer first.
Nice little nifty play for him there. That's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got a bike. Oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down.
A 1-yard gain could look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 10 yards there and a Buccaneer first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
A good run by Jordan Howard, and now another 1st and 10. Anders operating from the gun. The 20. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A good pickup there, 26 yards. On the delay, it's Howard. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. North of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good, too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
Second quarter now, and it's Buccaneer football as they've got it with a 2nd and 1 coming up. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same.
And he's got it. Caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Tyler Higbee. His first touchdown here of the new campaign as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. Good bounce-back drive right there through the pick on drive number 1. Drive number 2 leads them right down the field into the end zone.
Agree totally. Excellent bounce-back, tremendous poise, confidence never lost, and obviously he transmitted that to his teammates as well. What a really nice drive.
And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Giants offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go-around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you got to be ready to go. And the team... of course, loves to see points on the board, so let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot.
8, read. You got nothing to run. You got nothing. Hey, seam 6. Seam 6. Ready?
Sanders now to throw on second down. That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first.
Here we go, set. 18, Gator. Come on, baby. Let's see what you got. Slam. Big grip.
They'll run on first down. Barkley. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, people say bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
2nd and 13. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A big play on the catch and run, covering 34 yards. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. They run with Barkley on first down, and he gets about 5 out of it. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to him back.
Come on, set. 70, Indy. Let's get it together, defense. Let's get it together. Let's go.
Saquon Barkley running right. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up 1st and goal.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Set, ready? 10 Lobo. Blue draw Corker. Watch the screen. Undercrush. 2.
Trying to pound it in here with Michel. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Sony Michel, his first touchdown of the new season, as they are now on the board here in the first half. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
So that drive goes 8 plays, and it was Sony Michel's touchdown scamper that polished the drive off. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in his 2nd week of the regular season. Now a quick slant as the throw's complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first? And he finds Howard complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Looking to throw. Anders, and lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. 2nd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter. A lot of time to change things. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. The 2nd down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3. Back to throw. Anders, open man, Higbee, the tight end. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Tyler Higbee, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Bucs have taken the lead.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Meanwhile, down in Dallas, an update from there. And it's the Ravens that have moved out to an early advantage. I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor.
Down. 10-2 stop. Check the out. Lee Griffin.
This drive starts out on the ground with Michelle. Dorian O'Daniel, third-round pick in 2018, made the tackle. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half.
Oh, here we go. Oh. Get it.
Now Sanders looking to throw on second down. Slings this deep from the clip. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off near the 26. Then he will take it across midfield and down to the 45. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
And he'll take this forward for 2, maybe 3. But we do have a flag down, and they're already marching backward.
Still first down.
They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Here's Anders. From the gun, he'll throw. Dumps that off to his running back, Jordan Howard. He fights forward for a couple with a penalty flag down. And the linemen, they're already walking back. So they say we'll let that completed pass stand, and we'll bring up 3rd down instead as they decline it.
So they're comfortable with the yardage. The big thing to them is what you pointed out, getting it to 3rd down and making the play there.
On 3rd down, this is Howard. If they didn't have that penalty a moment ago, it'd be a first down. Still a nice 13-yard pickup. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crossed due to time constraints. We move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the 3rd quarter. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. New York set to take the field. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but There are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Here's Sanders throwing on first down. And he'll throw this one away. I don't think he's out of the pocket. No, here comes the flag.
Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. They lose the yardage, and, of course, they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long.
Hey, let's get go. No. Hey, check Mike 57. Mike 57. Coming. 57's the Mike. 57's the Mike. Hey, Delta. Get the ball.
Looking to throw. Sanders finding some room at midfield. Completes it to Jennings. And all the way down to the 25-yard line. 39 yards the distance covered on the catch and run.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. On first down, Barkley. And he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
He's had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
132 fighter. Check nickel.
They'll run it again with Barkley. Now Barkley stripped of the football. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
I know one thing. The team that had the ball and was driving, they're going to feel horrible. But the team that was on defense, I think we got to give them a little bit of credit, able to hang in there and force a key turnover.
In the red zone, though, had a chance to tie it and an opportunity missed. Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
That one goes for 24 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did.
Ball start, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards.
Set, ready? 70, Indy. Check. Kill.
They go counter with Howard. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there. And partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Anders now on third down. And he finds Safarian Jenkins. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A big gain of 31 on third down.
That's a real nice job right there. Working the middle of the field, working against those safeties. And you know, partner, if you get your hips turned, the big plays can result.
And a big play resulted right there. Now a man open down the middle of the field. And down inside the 15 he goes. It's a gain of 11, and the Bucs have a first down. This quarterback now 12 of 15 throwing the ball, 80% so far, and it's 1st and 10. They run with Howard. He'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Throwing is Anders to throw on 2nd down. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. And as a first-rounder, a lot of eyes on him, a lot of expectations.
And he has to play well in his rookie year. Those days of coddling guys and bringing them along slowly, those days are long gone. When you're drafted in the first round, they expect you to play right away. And the community's eyes and fan base, they'll be on you the entire way.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. And Evans hauls it in. Touchdown, Bucs. Mike Evans, his 2nd touchdown on the season as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit, get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, being on second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
This one taken just inside the 10. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
Here we go.
And New York set to take the field. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that, because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive.
Set. 60 or. Get ready. Get ready. Get ready. Ready, ready.
To throw is Sanders. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Going right side here, and that's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. That's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. Looking deep for Jennings. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. And he comes back with one complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Another good completion on the drive as the Giants have a first down. Back now here at MetLife Stadium. It's the Giants with possession of the football but needing points as we start quarter number 4. This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
Hey, check Mike 57. Mike 57.
Back to throw. Sanders looking deep for Jennings. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of resistance so they can't just run it right down your throat.
Now it's Barkley. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
Every team we ever talk to that continues to run the ball in a game, even when they haven't had much success, all talks about attrition, don't they? If you keep running it, eventually good things are likely to happen. It's been a hard go in this game today, hasn't it?
Yeah, this defense, they've met pretty much every challenge. And he's going to bull his way into the end zone for a Giants touchdown. Saquon Barkley. His 2nd touchdown on the season as his guys are back within a single score. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. So that drive in total 8 plays. And the rookie Saquon Barkley, the one who finishes things off with a touchdown run. This is taken at the 3. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably.
And nothing but daylight ahead. 20, 10, touchdown, Tampa Bay. Jordan Howard, his 3rd touchdown now on the year as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
Hey, here comes the Giants offense back out onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Sanders to throw on 2nd down. He'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. It's a Giant first down on a gain of 16. 4th quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the 2nd touchdown. You got the first one for the 2nd one to even matter.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. So second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Ready.
Barkley. He'll take this from the 40 up to the 45 for a gain of 5.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The Giants on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Looking to throw. Sanders. And that is incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed, if there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out.
Hey, zoom.
56. Mike, 56. Right there, 56. Pick it up, guys. Pick it up.
Sanders now throwing on 4th down. And that is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Bucs are going to take over with excellent field position to boot. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. A throw left side to start the drive is complete.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Let's go now. 30 base. I'm coming for you. Mine. Now.
2nd and 4. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And he hauls it in for the Buccaneer touchdown. Jordan Howard with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year, as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. They went empty backfield. all their weapons out wide, so there really was no secret here to what they were going to do.
No secret, but they still had to execute it, and they still had to protect the guy throwing the ball, because oftentimes when you empty the backfield, people bring pressure at you. They managed to hold in there and successfully complete the touchdown pass.
McManus's point after is good, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. Solid return, pretty good field position. New York set to take the field. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of...
Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off at the 49. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line.
Face mask. Defense.
They're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
So the face mask puts them in even better shape than they were in, as they'll have a short field here on 1st and 10. They run the counter. Howard. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage. Use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
50 plants.
All day, every day, any day.
Let's go.
Now Anders on 1st and 10. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Austin Seferian-Jenkins. His first touchdown here of the new campaign as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. They had the lead in the fourth, but still passing. Finding the big target for the touchdown. Now that lead grows even more.
Everybody gets to join in the fun. You know, it doesn't have to just be the wide receivers catching touchdown passes. The tight end doesn't just have to do just the dirty work inside. He gets a chance to get into the end zone as well.
Extra point from McManus is good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Giants offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
2nd and long. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish.
Hey, high 7.
57 to Mike.
Ready?
Now Sanders throwing on 3rd and long. And that will be incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. On 4th down, Sanders And this is incomplete. The Giants go on fourth but come up empty. And the Bucs are going to take over with excellent field position to boot. Well, that's another mistake there on the drop pass on fourth. And we've seen them do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
Ready? 15 line. 15 line.
Two times. 4 down. Check.
Big grip.
On first down, they run with Howard. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Anders off the play fake. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
It's a pickup of 3, and we have now arrived at the 2-minute warning. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. They've got it 3rd and goal here as they try to finish off their victory. They go with Howard again. Call it no gain on the play, so no help there. And now 4th and goal. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. Now McManus will line up for the field goal. This is an easy one, 23-yarder. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And now out come the Giants. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Khalil Mack picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Back to throw. Sanders looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. A nice pickup there, 19 yards. And they're set up better for 3rd.
It's a gain of 19 and brings up 3rd.
Here's Sanders from the gun on 3rd down. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
No, this offense is staying put. They're just 1 for 4 in these situations so far. But they're going again on 4th down. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Sacked by Yannick Ngakoue, the former Maryland Terp. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee.
go now. 60 outlaw. Ready. Ready.
This is Howard on second down. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Tampa Bay, it's a dream start. 2 wins in 2 early road games. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Giants, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside